Market says, I didn't see an update for Logic in the Mac store. Did it automatically update? It didn't. I had to install my update. And I also think you have to be on the latest Mac OS, if I'm not mistaken. Good question. But yeah, I think you got to be like super up to date, which I know for producers that is a very nerve-wracking thing. But yeah, Logic Pro 10 update is cool. Plug-in and search is a nice feature to have. Maybe they heard the podcast and other people talk about not having that option. Yeah, I hope like they're listening. They're absolutely listening for sure. Groove, what's up? Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, man. Now, like I think, you know, with the things that I loved about Ableton is just like, you know, their browser and search features are super dope from a workflow perspective. So I was just like, yo, if Logic can get some of this stuff, that would be awesome. And this is definitely a step in that direction. Another thing, man, if they could do is when you're listening and going through samples in Logic, which was another thing on Logic for iPad, before the update, going through the folder, like I would have to tap or click on the sample from my SSD and then play it, and then I would have to like go back in the menu and then manually click the other one. It was super slow. Like you can't just cycle through snares like super quick. It was slow. Like I probably spent like 10 minutes setting up my drum kit. But now the way they have it, you can just go through them like one after another. So again, that's huge. But on the desktop Logic, man, if it's like a delay when you go through samples, for whatever reason, it's a delay. In Ableton, it's like instant. You just next. I don't know why the delay is there in Logic. If they could fix that, that would be awesome as well. Just to be able to kind of quickly go through sounds quicker would be fire. So, yeah. G5 says, mine seemed to update automatically. I couldn't find it when I initially looked for it. It may have. I think the only reason mine didn't was, I think it was like, I don't know, the time of day or something. But usually that stuff kind of auto installs if you have it set for that. But yeah, definitely a dope update for Logic. It feels more, you know, well-rounded to me with just those workflow features. So I'm excited, you know, to see what they continue to do. Seems like they're definitely, you know, like some DAWs, it just seems like, and I felt like this with Machina, the Native Instruments recently did an update for that. I was like, yo, it's been a long time since they had like a significant update. It just feels like they just forgot about it. But Logic keeps pushing the envelope. And Logic, like, I only paid for Logic one time. Well, I take that back. In my life, I paid for Logic twice. So I paid for it a long time ago when it was like DVD. It was DVD Logic Express. I paid for it then, and then once everything went all digital, I paid for, because that was like, I think that was Logic 8 or 9 or something, and I paid for Logic 10 just straight from the App Store. But yeah, then you just get updates forever for free. Can't beat that. $199. iPad, you do gotta pay the yearly subscription thing, but to me it's worth it. Definitely has been worth it. Is there a function in Logic where you can connect to other people's sessions live, or is that Ableton? I don't think there is. Not that I know of. I bought Logic Pro 8. It came in a big box with manuals and CDs to install. Yep, I remember that. The good old days. Ray's Productions, what's up? If you guys have questions, drop them in the chat. You can answer some questions, talk about sync, music business, music production, or this fight. I don't know. Y'all let me know. We can discuss. Which I'm going to pull up, and you know they got like 1 million fights before the actual fight. So I don't know if they started fighting yet. So yeah, it's been a good week. It's been a solid week. I think last time I was on here, I had finished up the album, the sports album, where I wasn't allowed to use brass or strings. So I think we got, matter of fact, once I finish streaming tonight, I gotta send over an edit. We had a couple revisions, and then I think they're giving us a thumbs up to go into the mixing phase. So we did it. I accomplished it. I did a whole sports album without using brass or strings. And the urge to use those were very high throughout this project. So yeah. You're probably ready to start trying to get TV placements, but you just don't know the next step to take. So I want you to download my free Sync Producer Quick Start Guide, which is going to help you do that. It's going to give you the steps and it's going to give you resources to get you started on this journey. So just go to clintproductions.com/free guide or click the link in the description and download that free Sync Producer Quick Start Guide. Lauren says the fact that Logic is a one-time purchase is clutch. The score editor is highly slept on. I agree 100%. Like, yeah, you really can't beat that. It would be cool if someone found out that they had a placement on a Tyson. Oh, that would be fire. 100%. Ray Garcia, what's up, Ray? But yeah, that would be super fire. Okay, so let's talk about Pro Tools, man. And this thought, this illusion of perpetual license. A few years back, I splurged on a perpetual Pro Tools license because Pro Tools has been one of those DAWs that I always want to have. Like, I always have to have it on my computer. It's a go-to for me when it comes to recording vocals, editing vocals. I like to do that in Logic. I'm sorry, not in Logic, in Pro Tools. So it's just a DAW that, like, I just always want to have. And then sessions, old sessions, tons of sessions in Pro Tools. I gotta have it. I have to have Pro Tools on the system. So I was just like, all right, let me go ahead, update, get this little perpetual license, and I'll be good. Like, I'm not gonna keep updating. I'm gonna just rock with that. As long as it's PTX, we're good. You know what? I can't even blame Pro Tools 100%. I can't blame Avid 100%. It's Apple. It's kind of Apple, because Apple did an update that kind of forced me to update the Pro Tools that I bought under the whole perpetual license. So it just got to a point where you get the perpetual license, but if your software doesn't work with it, you got to do another upgrade. So then it turns into like this perpetual plus upgrade fees, and I believe I've paid quite a bit in just updating it and being able to keep one on there. So this is what I ended up doing. I feel like I wasted money on the perpetual license because the ratio of using Pro Tools and how much I use Pro Tools versus how much I use Logic it's not even comparable. I use Logic way more. So what I ended up doing was just using the Pro Tools Studio subscription thing. Just whenever I need to pull up a session or work in Pro Tools for the month, I'll just do that, and then when I don't need it, cancel it and just chill for a while. And I've been doing that and still ended up having, every time I open it, I end up having to update the thing. But luckily, since I'm just doing the subscription, I just pay for it for a month, do what I got to do, and then I'm out of there. So I don't know, man. Depending on what kind of system you're using, the whole concept of a perpetual license is not what it used to be back in the day. Apple does so many updates. It's exhausting. It's just like, yo, can y'all like sit still for a little? It's like, it just reminds me of my toddler. Like, dude just never stops moving, and I feel like Apple's the same way. Apple's a toddler in the tech space, and they just constantly have to update something. So that's my gripe with Apple and Avid, man. I just, unless I just build like a PC and just, keep a version of Pro Tools that can't be tainted, I've just been using a subscription. So it's what it is, man. Ray Garcia says Studio is $199 Black Friday. That's what's up. That's Studio One. Or Justin says FL Studio perpetual license is dope though. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm all for it as long as it means perpetual. So again, I guess it depends on what system you're using. If you're using a Mac, and I try not to update a lot on Apple, but then there's like some things just will stop working until you update, or things are just you start running into little issues, and you're like, I think I gotta upgrade.